Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Balance Me Yoga. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started today by making sure we have a couple of props. If possible, maybe some blocks and or thick hardcover books and a blanket or a beach towel. Okay, because we may use this at the very end, all depending on your choice, your comfort, but definitely if possible, a beach towel or a blanket and a block or two. All right. When you're ready, let's go ahead and take a comfortable position on your mat. But this time, instead of on your back, let's go on our bellies. Unless you have like major back issues, let's not. Then you can always just go into child's pose, depending on your comfort level, which is bringing those big toes together, spreading those knees, stretching those arms out, bringing your forehead to the mat, going into child's pose. If you're comfortable with going on prone on your belly, taking those hands, using them as pillows, going into what we call alligator. So just allowing those legs to separate, those feet to each end of the mat. Hands down, head on the tops of your palms. Closing your eyes. Starting to just simply connect with any of the sounds outside, maybe the sounds that are happening outside of your home or wherever you may be. Connecting with things that you're hearing, sensing, smelling. Starting to connect with any sounds, feelings around you, maybe closer to you on your mat. Sounds inside of your home. Maybe any sounds, sensations, feelings through your body. Maybe you start to connect with some of those. Those are always happening. Closing your eyes, still keep those eyes closed as you notice anything you might be feeling. Maybe as you're noticing these sounds, these feelings, these smells, connect to those and take them a little bit deeper. Notice any memories or connections that might bring you some joy from some of those sounds or feelings. Maybe consider connecting with an intention that brings you joy. Maybe send that joyful intention out to someone else in the world. Now let's start connecting to your breath, taking some nice inhales. Open mouth, exhale. And inhale. Open the mouth. Letting it out. Let's take a few more. Make sure you start evening out those breaths. As long as that breath goes in, notice that length of time it takes. Notice how long it takes as you push that same breath of air out. So let's breathe it in again through the nose and all of that good energy in that we want to take in. Expel it all out that we don't need. Now let's consider closing your mouth on these breaths. Allowing that inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose. Starting to connect to that Ujjayi breath. Noticing that ocean yonic, that throaty snoring sound in the back of your throat. Allow that voice to be your guide, that breath to be your guide. Now, as you continue and connecting to that Ujjayi breath, I'm going to slowly start waking that body up. So maybe you are in child's pose or you're still an alligator. If you're in child's pose, let's go ahead and just start slinking that body forward towards the top of your mat. Bringing that belly down. Maybe you take a gentle alligator just for a moment. Using those palms as pillows. Lying your forehead on top of those palms for a minute. Now with our breath, connecting to that inhale. With an exhale, let's go ahead, extend those arms out to the sides. Okay, so I'm going to move over. If you need to look at me, we're going to wake our shoulders up for a moment. So otherwise, just listen to my words. Just slowly take in what I'm saying. So we're extending our arms out into a T to the sides of us. Okay, forehead is against the mat. Your feet are still separated right now. Now what we're going to do, take that right elbow and bend it in. I'm going to face you. Taking that right elbow and bending it towards your chest. So your hand is towards your chest, your elbow is bent. Now we're going to bring those legs together. So bringing those feet together. And now what we're going to do is use that right hand to push as we stack our hips on top of each other. So our right hip is going on top of the left. Yes, our left shoulder is out to the side as our right arm is pushing it back, bringing that belly in, opening up to a nice shoulder stretch, nice side body stretch. Maybe feeling those toes kind of lengthening out, pulling that belly in. Just noticing how far you can allow that body to stretch, how far that shoulder allows you to stretch. My head is still against the mat. It's not up in the air. My head is still against the mat. My belly is in, connected to that breath. My left hand is flat on the floor. My shoulder is still on the mat, on the floor. My feet are still down as well. So my left foot is still against the floor. Nothing's up in the air. Just keeping those hips stacked on top of each other. Noticing how you feel. Inhale, exhale as you bring it back down. All right, extending those arms back out. You can open those feet up again if you need for a moment. Extending those arms back out. Notice the feeling in that left shoulder now that we've stopped constricting the blood flow to it for a moment. All right, same thing on the left. So we're going to bend that left arm, bending that elbow, bringing that hand towards your chest on the left. Bringing those feet together again. Allowing that left to push you up. Maybe you walk that right arm out a little bit more. Deepening a bit more into that stretch. Pulling that belly in. Keeping those hips stacked on top of each other. Allowing that nice side body shoulder stretch. And just waking it up. Pulling that belly in. Connecting to your breath. You can bring it in closer if you need to. And as you bring it in closer, notice, maybe it goes a little bit deeper. Maybe it hurts a little bit. If it hurts, please don't Bring that hand out more away from you. Want a nice comfortable stretch to open up. Nothing that's going to cause discomfort or pain. Next inhale. Exhale, bring it back down. Arms down to a T again. Bringing those legs out. All right. Now let's bend those elbows, bringing those hands up towards our chest. Going into a nice little push-up onto our knees, into our tabletop position. All right, now we're in our tabletop position. Head is down. We're going to start some cat-cows here. So bringing those hands and wrists under your shoulders. Pulling that belly in. Inhale. Into our cow. Exhale. Into that cat. Allowing that belly to pull all the way up. Inhale. Maybe dip it down a little bit further as if you're bringing your chin towards the mat. Now raising it up. Cow on an inhale. Exhale. Pull it all into that cat. Inhale. Exhale. Hopefully it feels good. Warming up that spine. Warming up those shoulders. Inhale one more time. Exhale. All right, now what we're going to do is, as those hands and wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, let's take that right foot back behind you. So you can curl the toes a bit if you like. And maybe you just hold it right here. Noticing the stretch through that right leg, allowing that right to extend back. Now maybe you allow those right toes off the floor. Keeping that hip even though. Those toes are pointed down. That hip is down. Now, let's bend that elbow and bring that knee and bring it towards the elbow. Exhale it back on an inhale. Bring it towards the elbow. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, bring it back. This time, bend that knee like a fire hydrant. Okay, out to the side, like a dog approaches a fire hydrant. So bend that out, 90-degree angle. Bring your knee towards your elbow, and then allow that foot to come down. Okay, now we're slowly gonna roll it up. On an exhale. Good. All right. Going into our gate pose here. This is a nice energizing pose. All right, so what we're going to do on an inhale, bringing it up. As you exhale, let's first start over to the left. So bringing that left hand down, taking that right arm, extending it up and over, allowing that stretch from the ankle straight up that right leg, straight through that right side body, straight through those right shoulders, all the way up to those right fingertips, allowing that stretch. Pull you up. Your gaze is up, pulling that belly in. Inhale. As you're slowly bringing it up. Exhale. Bringing those arms up again. Inhale. Exhale as you bring that right arm down that right leg, sliding it down. This time, now you're feeling that side body stretch through the left side, allowing that left arm to extend straight up and over you as if you're reaching up towards the clouds, towards the ceiling. I'm always envisioning outdoor. Inhale as you bring those hands back up. As you exhale, we're going to take those hands, bring them back down as if you're going back into that tabletop, but extend them out forward a bit. Keeping that right leg out to the side. Let's just stretch it forward as if we're going into a push-up. And then push back. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale, pushing back. Just waking that body up a bit here through the hips, through the shoulders, through the spine. On your next pushback, exhale. Inhale as you slowly roll that spine up. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back down again. Now let's bring it into our tabletop from here. So now we're going to bring that right hip back under. All right, so hands and wrists are under the shoulders again. That left foot we're going to extend out behind us. So the toes are down. If you can see, the toes are down. And if you are ready, you can always just keep that foot there for a moment. Or you can bring it up, finding that balance. Keeping those toes down, trying to keep those hips even. If you want to try and go a little bit more, maybe you bend that knee, bring that knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, exhale it back. As you push back, make sure you feel that heel as if it's pressing through the wall or whatever is behind you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Again, your gaze is down. Try not to look up. Don't want to hurt your neck or your cervical spine. Looking up, just keeping your gaze down towards a little bit in front of your nose here. Connected to that breath as you're bending that knee, bringing it to the elbow. This time, again, raising it up into that 90-degree angle. Bringing that left knee towards that left elbow. Stepping that foot out to the side. Inhale, as you slowly rise it up. Get another exhale here. Inhale, bringing those arms up. As you exhale, we're going to go over to the right this time. So taking that right arm down, extending that left arm up towards the sky. Feeling that extension through that entire left side body, from that ankle rolling straight up your leg, straight through your hip, up your side, through your shoulder, through your arm, your forearm, wrist, out to the hand, light shooting straight through. Beautiful. When you're ready, on an inhale, let's come back up. Exhale now, bringing it down. So sliding that left hand down the left leg, allowing that right arm to extend. Don't collapse down. We're extending the right up above. Keeping that belly in. Inhale as we bring those hands back up. Exhale, let's go ahead and bring them down to the mat here in front of us. Bringing them out a bit. And now we're going to go into that moving forward, just warming up our hips and our shoulders. Pushing back. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, moving forward. Exhale, pushing back. A couple more. Inhale. Exhale, just slowly warming up that body, warming up that spine. Exhale, as you push back, let's slowly roll up that spine again on an inhale. Allowing those shoulders, maybe taking a little bit of a shoulder as if you're going to bring that scapula together. Back in here. Now let's slowly bring it back into our tabletop. So our knees are under our hips, our hands and wrists are under our shoulders. Now let's curl those toes underneath you. All right, we're curling our toes underneath us. As we curl our toes, maybe push those hips back towards your feet. As you push your hips back towards your feet, okay, we're going to come back again like we did while we were in that beam, where we were energizing it up. So let's just start warming it up. Allow your feet to stay curled, waking up those toes a bit. Allowing just a little bit of weight to press into those toes. Now let's see if, as you slowly push your hips back towards your heels, if you can slowly start bringing your knees up off the mat. So we're kind of hovering up as we slowly start pushing those hips, still pushing those hips back towards the heels. And then slowly we're raising those hips up, up towards the ceiling. Connecting to our breath here. Maybe we push those heels down towards the mat. Maybe we pedal out our feet a little bit, bending one knee, straightening the other. Just waking up our first downward dog here. Again, we want to always keep those shoulders away from the ears. That belly is in. You're pulling your chest towards your thighs in this downward dog. Just warming it up again. Still just slowly getting the feel. When you're ready, take your gaze towards the top of your mat and gently walk up towards the top of your mat into your first forward fold. Holding that forward fold, keeping those hands down towards the mat. Or if this is too deep, I always suggest a chair, a folding chair. You can keep it right towards the front of your mat, especially when forward folds are happening or downward dogs. If it's too deep for you, you can always use the edge of the chair to assist you, or holding on to the chair as your support. So in that forward fold, while you're down, connecting to your breath, noticing where the energy is going, noticing the sensations. Maybe you're feeling it running through the backs of your legs. Maybe you feel it all the way up here in your hips. Maybe you're keeping a soft bend to your knees so that you don't strain too much. I'm going to inhale into our half lift. In our half lift, we're going to extend, pushing those hips back, extending the crown of your head forward, shoulders away from your ears, belly is in, away from those thighs. Nice inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's bring it all the way up. Bringing those hands together towards the top. Exhale, palms at heart center. Now from here, we're going to do a couple of half suns. So we're going to just simply wake up our spine, our shoulders a bit more. So let's inhale as we bring it back up. Before we forward fold it, we're going to add a little twist to wake up our spine a bit more. So let's bring that left hand forward, right arm back, bringing that gaze behind you. Inhale, bringing it up. Exhale, add another twist to the left side. The left hand is behind you. The right is forward. Now, try to make sure those hips stay a bit forward when you twist it, so you're not just pulling all the way back. Challenge yourself. Inhale as you bring it back up. Exhale, forward fold. Soft bend in those knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring it back up to the top. Hands at heart center, Samasthiti. Now, let's add that twist one more time. Inhale, bringing that left arm forward, right arm back. Exhale, bring them back together. And an inhale. Exhale, open it up to the left side. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring those arms up and around you. Bring those hands together, palms together. Palms at heart center. Inhale, bringing it out again. So bringing that right arm behind you, left hand out front and exhale. Add your exhale here. Trying to bring that right hip forward. Don't allow it to just pull you back. Keep that control. Keep that strength. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, bring that left arm back behind you, right in front, keeping those hips even again. Trying to even it out. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, slice it straight down the middle, bringing it down to your forward fold. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. All right, from here, let's step back into a plank. Holding that plank. Keeping those arms up, keeping those legs. Finding that balance, that center. Pull that belly in. Keeping a nice straight line from the crown of your head down to your heels. Lifting those thighs. Slowly bending those elbows, keeping them close to your body as you go down to the mat, into your cobra. As you inhale, on your next lift, maybe it's a slow little low cobra. Inhale, just lifting that chest up. As you exhale, push it back up into plank. And now on another exhale, into your downward dog. Beautiful. When you're ready, one more time, we're going to walk it back up to the top of our mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring it back up to the top. Exhale, semi-CTE. Inhale, bringing those arms up. Exhale, bring them out to the front and the back. So the left is out front, the right is out back. You can bring that gaze over the right. Keep those hips forward. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, back. Bring those hips forward. Inhale, bring them up. Slicing through the air as you forward fold on an exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bring it down. Now let's step the left foot back first and then the right into your plank. Again, let's hold that plank. Straight line from the crown down to your heels. Lifting those thighs, pulling that belly in. Slowly lower yourself down to your mat on the exhale. Good. As you inhale, keeping those hands next to your chest, elbows bent. Let's see if you can either bring it up just your chest into your cobra or maybe lift your belly off the mat into a higher cobra. Keeping those feet down. Exhale as you bring it back down. Inhale as you push it up to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. I think we're pretty woken up here, hopefully. Now when you're ready, let's lift that right leg up. Waking it up. Maybe you open it up a bit. Bending that knee, opening that hip. Don't allow that body to lift up. Keeping a nice, even shoulders. Let's take that right leg and we're going to slowly bring it forward as if we're stepping it straight through our hands. If you can't step all the way through, use your right hand to help guide it forward a bit. Keeping that left foot straight, or left leg straight, those left toes pointing forward. We're up on those toes. Inhale as you slowly come up, keeping that right knee bent into a high lunge, right? So we're in our high crescent lunge here, pulling that belly in, shoulders away. Maybe we bring our palms together, wrap our fingers, point our index finger and our thumb straight up. Opening up. Pulling that belly in. Holding up, bending that right knee. Pushing that left leg back, straighten that thigh. Pushing those quads up. Bringing those biceps to be As you exhale, let's bring that left knee, bend that left knee, stepping that left foot forward, coming up into our high lunge, to our crescent here. Holding it up, pulling that belly in, bending that knee. Maybe we bring those hands together, pointing those index fingers. Take a different wrap with your hand this time. Allowing, if your left pinky finger was in front before, now your right should be in front. Should be guiding you. As you lift it up, lifting those biceps away from your ears, shoulders away, bending through that left knee, lifting that right thigh up, feeling that energy, pulling that belly in. Connecting to your breath. From here, turning that right foot down into about a 45-degree angle. Taking your left elbow, bringing it down towards your left leg, stretching it up into the extended side angle. As you open up into your extended side angle, allow the left ribs to turn up towards the ceiling. So we're opening up. From here on an inhale, coming back up, straightening that left knee, bringing that left foot forward, pointing evenly with the right. So now they're both at like a 90-degree point, parallel to each other. Hands on hips, forward fold. Bringing your hands down to the mat. Maybe you stretch them backwards to get an even deeper stretch in that forward fold. Maybe you keep a soft bend to your knees. Maybe you keep your hands on your hips, wherever it meets you. When you're ready, bend the left knee now. Walking that the right knee now. Bringing the right hand and left hand towards that right foot. Keeping that left foot, either you can point it forward or you can point it down out a little bit towards the corner of your mat, or you can bring it up, flex the foot. Of course, again, notice the feeling versus if you keep it down, if that feels good or uncomfortable, or if you need to point it up and feel, and even keep it stretched through the back of your leg. If you can hold it up, keep that spine up, belly in. When you're ready, from your Skandasana, I'm going to bring that foot back down. We're going to walk our left and right hands back forward. So straightening that right leg again. Bringing that left foot back. Flow it through or just push back into your downward dog. Good. Now from here, let's go back into that high crescent, lifting that leg, opening up a bit, bringing it forward, coming on up. Inhale. And then we're going to turn and open it up and open those biceps up again. Open those shoulders, open that chest, lifting up that left thigh, bending through that right knee. Turning that left foot down as you extend it out into extended side angle. Maybe this time you try to reach out for that beach ball. Finding that upper body strength as you continue to roll those right ribs up. It's hard to say that while doing it. And breathe. Okay, so we're going to open it up. Holding it, bending. Coming up here. Turning that right foot forward. Forward fold. On an exhale. Walking it back. Bending that left knee. Bringing those hands towards the left, coming up, Skandasana. From your Skandasana, walking those hands forward, bending the left knee, bending the right into our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So right now, that right knee is just above those first two toes. It shouldn't be laying out to the side, shouldn't be pushing in. Should be just directly above those first two toes. You should see them. You We're allowing that stretch here through that left side, stretching it up. Taking that left elbow to the right knee, adding a twist here. Allowing that right hip to stay under you. Don't allow that right hip to push out to the side. Challenge yourself to keep that right hip in line with that right knee, keeping it under you. Inhale as you open it back up. Exhale as you slowly take your left hand down towards your left heel. Half camel. Maybe you lift your toes up, curl on under you. Half camel, stretching it back. I'm not letting my head just fall back either. I'm still controlling that neck. My right knee is still bent, shoulders away from my ears. Inhale as we come back forward. Bringing those hands back down to the mat. Stepping the right foot back. Lifting up. Flow it through. Or push it back into your downward dog. Connecting to your breath. Left leg comes up. Bending through that knee. Oh, I meant to bend it. Bend it out here. Stretching that hip again. Now we're bending it. Stepping up to the top. Coming on up into that high crescent on the left. Pulling that belly in. Bringing those fingers together. Pointing that index finger and thumb up towards the ceiling. Opening those biceps up. Opening up those shoulders. Lifting up through that right thigh. Bending into the left. Bringing that right leg down. Right foot down towards a 45-degree angle. Going into our extended side angle. Opening up that left rib. Maybe open it up first before you try to add the challenge of the beach ball. Reaching for it, hold it. Coming back up into your forward, wide leg forward fold. Those toes are pointed forward. Bringing it down. Wide leg forward fold. Maybe you walk it back, get a little deeper. Bending through as you come up. Or as you bring those hands back forward. Finding that soft bend in your knees. Bending into that right knee. Finding that skandasana. Coming up, pulling that belly in. Skandasana. From the skandasana, gaze towards that left foot. Turn that left foot forward as you walk forward. Keeping that right knee down onto the mat. Bringing that left foot forward a bit. Bringing that left knee just over that first and second toe. You can see the toes if you're doing this properly. It shouldn't be over it too much. Shouldn't be out. Just straight up. Control. Power. Strength. You want to find that here. Allowing that stretch to that right hip. Bringing those hands up on an inhale. To our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Your next inhale, let's take that right elbow down towards the left knee. Finding that prayer pose, that twist here. See if you can push. Use those hands to push as if you're trying to assist yourself in twisting a bit more to the left. Try to now bring it back forward again. On an inhale, bringing those arms up. Exhale, bringing that right hand down towards the right heel. Maybe you lift those toes up, give you a little more height as you lift into that half camel, stretching it back. Inhale as you come back forward, bringing those hands back down to the mat. Stepping that left foot back. You can go into your downward dog or go into child's pose for a moment. Or you can flow it through. Whatever's good for you. Meet yourself where you are. It is okay. From here, we're going to add a little something to our downward dog in this flow here. We're going to do it on each side just to wake up our shoulders and spine a little bit more. Let's bring that right leg up in the air. Bending through that knee. Maybe you take that right leg behind you as if you're going to step it back. And then allow that right arm to extend straight above your head here. Pushing those hips up into a wild thing. From here, taking that right hand back down, bringing that right foot back. So maybe now you're back in downward dog. Maybe we try the left side. We lift that left leg up, bend that knee, open up that hip. Maybe you allow that left foot to come down as you push up through that left, through the hip, allowing that hand to stretch out as if you're tagging someone right above you. You can come back again by bringing that left hand back down, bringing the left foot back around you. Downward dog. Gazing up towards your hands as you walk up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Half lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's bring it back up to the top. Exhale. Palms at heart center. All right, now I'm going to come forward. Because what we're going to do from here is we're going to add on a little balance, but we're just going to kind of flow through the balance, okay? So what we're going to do, one leg Tadasana. So first we're in our mountain pose. Again, in mountain pose, our feet, toes are straight forward. Everything is basically centered just underneath our hips. Pulling that belly in. You should be able to roll those shoulders away from your ears. Make sure I got a full view here. Arms are down. Grounding into, so you're like really pushing down into that left foot. And maybe you lift the right, allowing a one leg Tadasana. Finding that balance. From your one leg Tadasana, take your right leg, bring it behind your left knee into a curtsy. Maybe you bring your hands together. So you could stay here in the one leg Tadasana. Or you can bring it back behind you into that curtsy. Hold it. Find that strength. Pushing it back up. Shooting that right foot up. Bringing the hands down. Going into your standing split. I got to make more room. Sorry. So finding that standing split. So lifting that right leg up. Your right hand is under your shoulder. Maybe you keep both hands under your shoulders. Or maybe you take that left hand and grab your left ankle as you find that standing split. That's my knee popping. Sometimes our joints pop. It's okay. As long as it pops out. All right. Now, as you inhale, bend that right knee and slowly bring that foot back down towards the left. Inhale, roll it back up. Exhale. All right, now let's try it on the other side. So, rooting down into that right foot, finding that one leg Tadasana. Again, you can always hold on to a chair or a wall for balance as well. This isn't just, no holding on type of balance stuff. You can always hold on to something if you need it. Just maybe you stay here, bringing that knee up. So if you stay here in one leg, keep that knee up. Don't allow it just keeping the foot gently off the floor. Try to challenge yourself to really hold that knee up, flexing that foot, finding that one leg. Maybe you want to add a little bit more. Go into that curtsy, bringing that left leg, that left knee behind the right into that curtsy twist. Finding your balance. See if you can bend that knee a bit. Going down into the standing split, bringing that right hand under your shoulder, Left hand on the left shoulder. Bring that left leg up. Bringing the right hand towards the right angle if you can. And as you can see, my standing split right now is still where I'm just even with my right hip. My left hip is not just splaying out to the side, popping up. It's still pretty even. My toes are pointed down. Some people can do that full standing split looking like a line, but I'm more of a 90-degree situation here. Inhale, exhale, bringing that foot forward. Inhale, rolling it back up. All right, now let's go ahead as we come to the tops of our mat. Up to the top here. Let's see if you can slowly bring it down. Like you're bending your knees, right? Bring your hands out in front of you. Keep bending those knees. Bending those knees. Coming down as low as you can until you drop down to the floor. All right, try not to use your hands if you can. Now from here, let's go ahead and come up to a high kneeling position. So we're just on our knees here. So maybe you keep the tops of your feet down here, or maybe you allow them to curl underneath you. Maybe you allow your bottom to sit down on them, feeling the weight through those toes. You can feel that, right? Wakes them up a little bit. Definitely stretches the bottoms of your feet. And the bottom of our feet need to be stretched. And oftentimes they don't get stretched. That's why this feels so uncomfortable. But I promise you, after I do a stretch like this, later in the day, my feet don't hurt as bad as they normally do because now they've actually been stretched, and that feels magnificent. So from here, you can go ahead and put them back down if you like into our high kneeling position, or you can keep them up if you're comfortable with that because now we're not putting so much weight into it. And maybe we practice those half camels. Maybe you take your right arm and reach back for that right heel. Maybe you take your left arm up above you, keeping a nice evenness with your spine. Not allowing that head to drop back, but just nice and even. Inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, maybe you take your left arm, flow it around towards your left foot as you bring your right up. Exhale. Into the half camel on the left. Let's try it again on the other side. And I'm really pushing through my pelvis, making sure my hips are pushing forward here. So inhale, exhale, pushing it forward. Inhale, rounding it out again. Exhale, pushing it forward. One more time. Inhale as you push it forward. Exhale. Connecting again on an inhale. Exhale. Maybe from here, you take that right hand this time, bring it to your right heel. Right hand to right heel. Pushing through those hips, pushing those hips up, opening that heart, allowing those shoulders away from your ears, away from your neck, keeping that stability in your neck. My neck is straight here. I'm not just allowing it to hang back. Keeping that strength. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you slowly take those hands away. Slowly bring those feet back down towards the floor. Exhale as you bring it back down. Now let's go ahead from that camel. Let's stretch our back a little bit. We're going to be bringing our feet in front of us. Now this is when I recommend you might want to consider your blocks and or your blanket. So you can absolutely sit on your blanket to get some evenness through your hips or your towel, whatever works for you. Kind of give it a little lift, allowing that your sit bones to open up behind you, underneath you rather. So we're just finding that evenness here. And I'm definitely towards the edge of my blanket. I'm not just on the entire blanket. Flexing through those legs in our Dandasana here. Just catching our breath. Pushing those thighs down towards the floor. Flexing those feet. Calves are pressing down. Thighs are pressing down. Now, let's see if we can challenge ourselves to get a little bit deeper into our hips here by we're lifting up. Let's bend that left leg first. Bringing that left leg under the right thigh. Now we're going to take our right leg, bringing it above the left thigh, and then sitting it up here, up on top. Essentially, our legs are sitting right on top of each other like two little fire logs, okay? This is our fire log position. And from here, maybe take your hands, lift up, and see if your knee goes a little bit closer to your foot. Maybe you find a little more evenness here in this log position. Maybe you use your blocks here. I'm going to use my blocks. Because what we're going to do is just stretch forward a bit. So maybe keeping that spine straight, allowing a nice stretch. Those hands are just reaching forward. Shoulders are nice and even. So I'm not just dropping down into it. I'm trying to keep that lift in my spine, that lift in my belly. Shoulders stretch forward. Notice that feeling. Maybe you're noticing the sensations all through the sides of your legs, down towards your knees. Just waking it all up, finding that stability, finding that strength here. Energizing those muscles. All right, from here on an inhale, we're going to slowly come back up. Now, of course, you know what we got to do. We got to do the other side. So you can stretch those feet back out into your staff pose. This time we're bending the right first underneath the left thigh. And then we're going to take the left and bring it above the right. Okay, here we go. Finding that log. So maybe you lift up to even out those hips. It helps me when I do that. And definitely helps to lift that sit bone and give you some space here. Notice the sensation when the left is on top versus when the right was on top and how it feels. The adjustments you find yourself making now versus before. And again, if you have blocks or not, if you don't have blocks, you can always just bring your hands, just straight down in front of you, holding it, pulling that belly in, just noticing that feeling. If you do have blocks, you can always put your hands right on top to help keep that nice evenness through your spine, pulling that belly in, allowing those shoulders to stretch out forward. Notice the sensations you feel here too. Maybe it feels a little bit deeper of a stretch on the left versus the right side. Inhale as we come back up. Move those blocks out to the side. Straighten those legs out in front of you. Maybe you move that blanket out the way too. Let's take it back down to our mat here, bringing our knees to our chest. Bringing those knees together. Maybe you find a little gentle twist here. Bringing the left knee on top of the right as you bring it down to the side. Allow that left shoulder to stay on the floor as you gaze over the left. Connecting to your breath here. Noticing maybe you allow that left hip to press forward a little bit. Inhale as you bring those hips back up, those knees. Exhale as you bring those knees out to the left side. Bring them out to the left. Allowing that stretch through the right. Maybe the right hips push forward a bit. Bringing that gaze over to the right. Right palm is down to the floor. Gaze is over the right. Right shoulder is still pressed against the mat. I'm not allowing it to roll off the mat. Pressing it down. Finding that stretch through the right side body. This is your work. Connecting to your breath. Inhale as you bring it back up. Exhale, bringing those feet down. Walk those feet out to the edges of the mat, the heels, bringing those knees in towards each other. Now let's do a little bit windshield wiper, just pressing that right knee down in towards the left. Bringing the left out, just wiping it across as if it's some wipers across that front windshield of yours. If you have windshield wipers or even deal with a car. Some of us don't understand. Connecting to your breath. Just allowing those hips to stretch out a bit. Any final postures that you like to make, feel free. Shoulder stand, if you're able to do that, bridge pose, plow, whatever feels comfortable for you. Or if you're ready, you can go ahead and move into your Shavasana. Taking those feet out, allowing your hands to drop down. Maybe your palms are up to receive energy. Maybe your palms are down if you want to continue to try to just ground yourself. But find that calmness in your Shavasana here. Closing your eyes, connecting to your breath. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. By L.R. Nost. When you're ready, slowly start waking up those fingers, waking up those toes, connecting to that breath. Maybe you start waking up your wrists, your ankles, making some more bigger movements in your body as you slowly start that transition back. Maybe you bring your knees to your chest. Maybe you do a long overhead stretch with the arms, stretching those feet the opposite way. Maybe when you bring your knees to your chest, you roll on your spine a little bit. And when you're ready, just definitely bring our knees to our chest and roll to one side into that fetal position, that position of rebirth, and take a moment there. Keeping those eyes closed. When you're ready, as you reconnect, slowly start to push your way up into an easy seated position, crossing your legs at the front of your mat. Bringing your hands to heart center. Connecting with your breath here. Maybe reminding yourself of an intention that you set when you started this joyful practice today. Maybe you didn't set an intention. Maybe you didn't even intend to. You just came to get on your mat and take your time. And that is the beautiful thing about getting onto our yoga mats and taking the time for ourselves, finding that energy, that renewed strength. The light is in me, honors, respects the light that is in you. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Stay awesome. Thank you.